Hey, what's up everybody? It's Phoenix coming at you with another Wonderlands video. This one is going to be on my Unkillable Brr-Reaver build. So this build is just going to be a mobbing machine. I mean, it absolutely destroys anything around you. And that's because we're using the Dire Sacrifice ability from Graveborn. And what that's going to do is the more health you have, the more damage this ability actually does. So now we can make our character have as much HP and ward as possible, so that way we can get the most out of this. I'm going to leave this here so you guys can pause the video and take a screenshot or just look at the skill tree so you guys can copy it if you'd like. All it is mostly just anything that'll increase our health, anything that'll increase our ability, damage, cooldown, anything like that nature. And then on our Berserker skill tree, we do have some things that increased our frost damage, and that is because this build is going to be using mostly frost damage types, just simply because it seemed to work the best with this setup here. Alrighty, and moving on from our ability, here we have our equipment. So to start off, our first weapon is going to be the head cannon. With the new patch that came out today, I do believe this can now be enchanted, so we can make that even better. I'd recommend adding snowballing to it, just because that seems to do the best damage-wise for this build. After that, we have the Snowballing Nightshade. This one is really good for mobbing. It clears out pretty much anything relatively quickly, and it's just a good all-around gun for anything. Here's going to be our Sword Explosion in Frost. This one is ×3 as well. So this one is what we'll use for bossing. It will absolutely just shred through bosses' health bars. Our last one is going to be the Queen's Cry. This gun also got a big buff in this new patch. They increased its damage overall, even though they did decrease the damage of all frost weapons, which kind of sucks, but this build will still take you through Chaos 35 really easily, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Our melee weapon is just going to be a chilling pickaxe to give us a little bit more ability cooldown so we can spam it as much as possible. As for our amulet, we just have a Harbinger. This mostly I put on for the shield capacity because one of our skills in the Berserker tree makes it to where the bigger our ward is, the more health we'll have. And also activating our action skill will restore our ward, so that just gives us some more survivability. Our ward here is going to be triggering static charge. So I picked this one mostly because it was the biggest ward I could find. It has 12,980 shield capacity, which is absolutely insane. And then for our rings, I have one Skillful Mood Ring of the Sundial. This is just for ability damage and cooldown. And then to balance that out so we can also do bossing, I have a gun damage ring, and this one is focusing on shotgun abilities. So we have our shotgun mag size and our critical hit damage. This will help our sword explosion kill bosses better. As for our armor, I am using a Cape of Tides, and this will just help us get a soak status to kill the bosses. I tried a corrupt plate mail for this build just because I figured it would be nice to have some dark damage for survivability, but it turns out we really needed the Cape of Tides to be able to do bossing and mobbing, so I figured it was a nice balance there. Lastly, we're going to have our spell, which is going to be our Buffmeister. We just got a standard Q-Zap Buffmeister. This one, I didn't put Ka-Chow on it just because the gun damage and spell damage outweighs the need for our ability to do more damage, because our ability where we're at right now already has an insane amount of damage, so I really wanted to focus on making it be able to boss just as good. So with that said, we're going to take a look here and let's see how much HP and ward I have. So if you take a look in the bottom corner, I have a little over 16,000 ward and 27,000 HP. I mean, that is insane. So when I use my ability, it's going to sacrifice a big chunk of that, and I'm already regaining it back, so, I mean, it's just insane damage. Alrighty everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my new build, and I'll catch you guys next time.